Kathleen, and I'm the photographer behind Educated Savage Photography, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about the power of photographs, because I think when, we have our busy lives and we don't always think about the future and the past, and I feel that sometimes we think, oh, I don't want pictures of myself. I don't look the way I want to look. I don't have time. I'm busy. I hate the way I look in photographs. Things like that. And it's important to remember that having photography done and getting professional portraits done isn't just for you. It's also for your family and your children and your children's children's children. And so today I wanted to share with you some really cool pictures that I have. In my family, I am the picture keeper, and on occasion I also take the time to scan the pictures in. So some of the pictures you're going to see me hold up because I haven't scanned them into the computer yet, and I'm going to go ahead and splice in the ones that I have scanned that are really cool. The first photo I want to show you is this picture here. And this was taken, I have no idea when. It had to be like 100 years ago or something. But this is a photograph of my great-grandmother when she was a child. Isn't that beautiful? This is a professionally taken photograph, and I have never met my great-grandmother. She died before I was born, and without this picture, she is just an entry in my mother's genealogy book. But this picture makes her a real person. And I have a bunch of pictures like this of my family that some of them I don't even know who they're of. And those people who I have their picture, they're beautiful portraits like this. I have their picture, and that means they existed. I don't know who they are. I don't know what side of the family they're from. I don't know what ages they are. But they exist because I have pictures of them. I can show the world that they existed if the world could only tell me who they are. I want to show you another picture now. Both of my grandfathers hated having their pictures taken. I have so many pictures of my grandpa on my mom's side with pictures like this, with his hand over his face, because he hated having his picture done. But I do have this professional portrait of him, and he is the gentleman in the center. He was a motorcycle cop in the city I was born, and he was the chief. I don't know what the rank is, but he was the guy in charge of the motorcycle squad. And he was a very decorated officer. And so I have a couple portraits of him like this that the officers did that are professionally done, and they're pictures of my grandpa where I can actually see him and see what he's done and what he's doing. He was also a canine cop, and I have pictures of him with his dog, Mike. My mother is passed, so she can't tell me these stories about my grandparents anymore. But I can learn about them because she wrote on the back of the pictures, of the printed pictures, she wrote on them, Dad with his dog Mike on such and such date. And those are so valuable to me because I get to know my grandpa a little bit better that way. This is cheesy. This is me. When I was 2 years old, and my parents were still taking professional portraits of us. As you get older, you stop doing that with your children. But you can see here, I've already got these ragged teeth and these pigtails, but I was a very happy child. And I can look back on this picture and appreciate I still look a lot like me. Anyways, I went through this phase in high school where I was like my grandparents. my grandfather's. And every picture of me is like this because I hated having my picture taken. And now that I am in my 30s, I look back and I wish I had pictures of me in high school. I kind of went through my freaky stage when I was younger, and, telling people, that I had green hair when I was in high school and I had bells woven into them and I dressed like a bohemian hippie chick and I never wore shoes and things like that is different than being able to grab a picture and say, yeah, look, this is what I looked like when I was in high school. This is what I did. These are my friends. Like, having pictures of my friends would have been so cool. And I have, of course with Facebook, I'm in touch with all my high school friends. And there's one picture of me. Just one out of all of our collections of pictures. And you can barely even see me because I'm way in the background. So that kind of makes me upset. What makes me even more upset is that there is one other picture of me from high school, and it's this one. Now this is my senior portrait. You can see it's done with the wonderful traditional blue background. And I look very conservative. Now, I just got done telling you that I was this crazy green-haired hippie chick in high school. And this picture was, I had to follow the dress code for the portrait studio. And my dad asked me to stop dyeing my hair for the picture. And my friends that I gave wallet-sized pictures of have told me that they didn't even keep them because in that photograph they don't recognize me. That wasn't what I looked like. That's not who I was. And so that is the only real picture of me from high school. And that makes me so sad. Even a snapshot would have been better. But I kind of wish that we had done family portraits because there's one picture I know of that has my brother, myself, my mother, and my father in it. And none of us knows what happened to it. My dad doesn't know where it is, and it's not in my pictures that I have. I'm kind of the picture keeper in our family. And, that's really sad. The other thing that's really sad is that, you always have like one picture taker in the family. And in most families, that's mom. And so there's lots of pictures of the babies, lots of snapshots of, family functions and stuff like that. But there's no pictures of mom. And mom hates to have her picture taken because she needs to lose 15 more pounds. Her hair needs to be dyed. She's got some gray showing. Oh, she doesn't want to see the wrinkles and all these things. And my mom is gone. I'm never going to have a chance to take a picture of her. She died when I was in high school, so it was before I became a photographer. And so this is the picture that I have of her. This is, it's actually a snapshot that someone took of my parents on their wedding day. And this is the picture that I have of my mom. This picture is over 30 years old. And I love this picture, and I'm going to keep it forever, of course. And I've scanned it into the computer, so now it's digitalized. But I have that picture, and I lied. I have another picture of my mother. She became disabled as a result of an accident, and she was in the newspaper as a result. And even though he wasn't supposed to, the newspaper photographer sent us his professional photos of my family and my mother. So that's what I have. I have her wedding photo, and I have a photo of her after her accident. And if you look through my family albums, there's pictures of us kids, there's pictures of my dad, but there's no pictures of my grandfathers, and there's no pictures of my mother. Another picture that I really cherish that I'm going to snip into this video is one of my mother when she was in high school. And it's her, and now her sister is only, I think they're only 2 years apart. And so they were both in high school, and it's a picture of them with my grandmother. And it's a professional portrait, and I love it so much. And I will splice it into this video when I figure out how to do that. And I love that picture. It is scanned into my computer, and I've shared it with all my family, and everyone's oohed and awed over it and everything. But you don't realize that, I'm sure at the time my mom was just like, ho hum, we have to get portraits done or whatever. Or, you have these special occasions like weddings where you allow people to take your pictures. But just having a family portrait, we don't have one. And that's really sad. And that's not just for us. I mean, when I have children, they're not going to have a family picture of their parents with their grandparents. It can't happen now. And that's one reason why it's really important to get professional family pictures done every so often. I mean, and they don't have to be professional. I mean, sometimes you can't afford that, but at least get your friend or someone to take a group picture of you every so often, because your children and your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren will all appreciate it just so much, being able to see their family and see what they looked like when they were in high school. And those memories are precious. Like I said with this photo here, this is my great-grandmother, and I never met her, and she would only be a name in a book if it wasn't for this picture. This picture makes her a real person. It's not just for her mother, who probably had it done, but it's for me, who has never met her. This is my great-grandmother, and she's a real person to me now because of this photo. So just something to think about, something I wanted to communicate to you with you guys. Forgive me for tearing up earlier. But yeah, that's just a little what I wanted to talk about. So I will talk to you guys later, and have a great day. Bye.